Bat Force Radio.
Bat Force Radio is rated M for mature, or should that be immature?
Hey guys, Dustin Witt.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
You're listening to Bat Force Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Bat Force Radio, so stay tuned.
What up, guys? This is your boy Dunk on another episode of the Everything Batman Podcast. And today we got two special guests who joined me 2 weeks ago now over at Dallas Fan Expo. We have welcome back Susie. How's it going?
Yeah.
And we got a fellow friend of Susie's over at OKC. We got Candice at the cast for the first time. How you ladies doing?
Good. Great. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we had an awesome weekend, Dallas Fan Expo, and one problem I always have when the con is over, of course, I suffer of post-con blues, right? And we go back to work and we go through this regular nonsense, and it's like, oh man, I can't wait to go to my next con. I can't wait to go to my next con. I can't stop talking about the last con I was at. How was your experience so far after the con?
Yeah, it took me like forever to get through pictures and ask for pictures and then just think about it and decide what was going on next. And it was just and then getting back to work, I didn't want to work. But I had to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wasted a little bit of time at work.
You're entitled to procrastinating a little bit after a con. How about you, Candice?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just feel like I spent so much time following, the hashtags for Fan Expo Dallas or the Fan Expo Facebook page, just looking through pictures, and I feel like there were so many things that I missed. Yeah. Cosplayers that had amazing costumes that I didn't see, that I still wanted to be in that world. So I just, for days afterwards, just kept looking for pictures, and I'd met a lot of new friends there. So I was going through their Instagram pages, seeing what else do they do. And I didn't want to give it up for at least a week.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. But then, the realization of that we have to go back to our 9-to-5s. And, but cool. But, at the end of the day, we can still talk about it and we can reminisce all over again.
Yeah.
So how do you guys prepare for this con? I know as cosplayers, there's a different prep that, than other people who attend the con. I myself, I get books signed. I'm going through my comic bins, looking at people's schedule, one time with their signings. We're looking at photo ops and trying to figure that out. Try to get as much of the con as possible. But for you ladies as cosplayers, it's a little different.
You want to go first, Candice? Because you have a little bit more.
Sure. I feel like, deciding what cosplays to wear or to bring is so hard. And then also thinking, I've never traveled. This is the first time I've ever traveled for a convention. The first time I've ever stayed in a hotel for a convention. Otherwise, it's always been ones I could just drive to and drive home that day. So trying to think what's going to work for packing, what is going to be comfortable to wear all day, what can I actually, get ready for in a hotel room. And then, if you're going with a friend like Susie, is there something that we can do that's kind of sort of related a little bit? And there are just so many things to think about and try to figure out how to make it all fit in the car. And then Susie and I also had to figure out, since we were driving down together, how to get suitcases or boxes or whatever we were taking our stuff, and how to make it all fit in one car, even if there's just two of us. But it was just a lot to think about,
especially with that head,
the giant head. Giant. How do you keep that in there? Yeah, but then you also made a whole costume for this one.
Oh yes. I had to, and I didn't think it was going to take very long. I thought I've never really worked with foam before, so I thought, this won't be that hard. But I didn't think about, with sewing, you kind of work at your own speed. But with foam, there's so much waiting time. You glue it together, have to wait for it to dry. You seal it, have to wait for it to dry. Paint it, have to wait for it to dry. So it just took so much longer than I expected. But it was a fun experience. But yes, that's another thing. If you're making something new for that convention, you have to make sure you get it done in time.
Yeah, I can only imagine just crunching it last minute.
Some people really crunch it, but I think
just like college,
we try and start really early. I think Candice and I are planners enough to like not actually crunch. Like,
yes, I try not to.
There's
Yeah.
like little things. And so then with that, like my prep was same thing. Like I had to decide what I wanted. I kind of knew I love to wear my favorites. I love to wear the popular ones. I love to wear my favorites, but I have to take them all out, make sure all the pieces are there. I have to check the pieces if anything needs to be like repaired or fixed. And so I spent like the whole week before just making sure that little bits that came apart were put back together, fixed a wig, like brush it out, restyle the wig, like all this stuff that just like prepping for a regular trip. I had to put all the pieces out and make sure I had everything for sure.
When it comes to like packing all this stuff, like does it ever like, with wigs, I don't know, do they ever get like messed up when you pack them, or like do you pack them a specific way for it to not be an issue when you get to your location?
It's definitely different in traveling in a car than on an airplane.
Oh yeah.
On a car, we had the ability to like fill up the entire space versus an airplane.
Just cramming it.
You have to put it into your suitcase or carry it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We had various types of storage on our
I had like my wig stand, just like this guy, and I had the wig on it, and then I put it inside of a box so it'd still kind of be standing up. But I didn't notice it when I put it on, but in pictures, because I had like this aerial swoop to my bangs and it kind of got flattened on top. Mm-hmm. And so, which it looked fine in pictures, but still normally I would have it more fluffy, and I didn't even notice that it had gotten smashed in the box, but it still looked fine. Things like that you don't really think about.
It's like, and we packed everything up when we got there the first day, and it was like, and they started taking stuff out of the trunk in the car at valet, and we're like, no, stop, don't touch, let me do it.
Be careful with that.
Pulling stuff out, and we're like, stop, don't put that on the bottom of this other thing, or like break the trident on the way. We're all so careful with this. Like, So we are like extra careful packing and fitting things, puzzle piecing it together, and making sure we have everything. I don't think, did you forget anything?
No. I thought I did, but then I found it in my suitcase later, and before I needed it, so it worked out. But yeah.
We always think we can forget something.
It's
right?
packing and forgetting something.
Yeah, I feel like even myself, like I'm on the plane, I'm like, what did I forget? And what I tend to do, comic book wise, if I forget something, whatever, it's cool. I still got some other stuff to get worried about, but I'm always like, it's funny, like my morning routine, I'm like, all right, cool, I brush my teeth, this has to go in the bag. Deodorant, this has to go in the bag. So like as I go through my morning routine, I throw everything in the bag, and as long as I got the stuff for my hygiene, I'm fine. Everything else I deal with, but luckily no one forgot anything. Definitely not that massive head. So you guys figured out, you scheduled everything else. You figured and scheduled everything out. You ended up driving over together, and did you guys did you drive in with your cosplay on, or did you guys like jump into the hotel, get dressed, and ran right into the convention Friday?
I had after I finished my half a day of work, and then before we left, I did my like wig and makeup, so that there was nothing to actually like do other than put on the outfit. And I think you had your hair and makeup done.
Yes,
too.
I didn't wear a wig, so I had my hair done already. I had my makeup done. I just kind of touched it up when we got to the hotel, and then just like put the suit on, and we just like went, because we ended up getting to the hotel later than we expected, and so we were just like rushing, but it worked out.
Got some of that Dallas traffic.
Dallas traffic, and we made a pit stop too to drop off some stuff I made. So it was just like, and then we chatted for too long, and we're like, we gotta go, we have to go. We're gonna be so late.
So for those watching on YouTube, here's a picture of what these ladies were dressed as Friday. It's like, it's just so badass. I was like, I think well, Candice, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Candice, nice to finally meet you. How is Friday going into the con? Like, I obviously I don't know because I don't cosplay it, but like, I'm not going to compare days.
Yeah.
Is it difficult walking first day at a con?
That was, it was pretty quickly that first day, and we were there kind of late. It was like 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock, and we were just like, stop. It was
Well, and we had scheduled to meet up with a photographer, and we kept getting stopped, which was great, but for pictures, and we didn't know where we were going, and he was trying to tell us, like, oh, I'm by this, and we're like, we've never been here before, we don't know where that is. And while we were stopping to take pictures of people and trying to figure out where to go, and I feel like the first day was so hectic, but it was so much fun.
When you're trying to like you're trying to get your footing of the con and like try to like figure out where things are. So I can only imagine how complicated it is because one, you are being stopped constantly and people do want to take pictures with you, which is great. And then, and the kids was like, oh, can I get a picture with you? And they're just adorable as hell. Mm-hmm. And, but it's really hard to get a mapping of where everything is when you're in cosplay. But it's flipping awesome.
Yeah. This was the biggest convention I've ever been to. So that made it even more like exciting, but also like confusing. I don't know where to go.
It's only the beginning, Candice.
I hope
so. How was, so what was your main goal first day? What were you guys looking forward to do?
Well, meet up with a few people, including you, figure out the floor. I think we walked through the entire, vendor area just to kind of see where everything was.
Okay.
To see where the celebs were. But then we wanted to got to the pictures, and then we were there for like 2 hours maybe because we were going to go see the movie on the lawn at the AT&T Discovery District. And that's why we chose our Marvel cosplays because they were showing Avengers
Infinity War. Yeah.
Yeah, when you guys mentioned that, I was like, oh man, that sounds great.
And we were the only cosplayers there, despite this convention being them, and they're like advertising it. And like, why wouldn't everybody else come?
We were shocked. And it had been really hot during the day, but it actually felt really nice just sitting out there watching the movie. It wasn't hot at all.
There was a lot of airflow in that courtyard.
Here's a quick picture of where they were located. This is right after Friday. Well, you guys were there way before I drove by, and we were driving by right behind you guys from this picture, and I was like, "Where are you guys?" Oh, the AT&T lawn. And I'm like, "What the hell are they talking about?" And then I just see this blue thing on my right hand side as we drive by. I'm like, "Oh, that's where they're at. That is so cool." And I'm like, "Damn it. Missed out on that."
And you can actually see, so there was a couple of kids that were dressed up. The kid that you can see in that chair right there, I think was wearing like a Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah.
But it was only kids that were dressed up. We were the only adults.
We're all kids. We're all kids at heart.
It was just a little bit hard to like sit there because I didn't want to like mess up the front piece of my costume because I'd never sat like, when you sit down on like you can see the people sitting there. When you sit down on like a lawn or grass, like you kind of slump and get like weird shaped. You can't see me behind the screen.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I didn't want to like break or crease it or whatever. So I was like uncomfortable. Like I was just like lean back, sit up super straight and the whole time for like I think we watched the last like 45 minutes or so.
That's good because it's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. And then we like ate dinner finally.
Yeah.
Like 10:30 at night or something like that.
Yeah, I think Friday. Well, of course, I was like, oh wait, can't wait for Susie to show up. I took care of a bunch of comic book stuff, got a couple of things signed, and Friday my main agenda was like I needed to meet up with you ladies. I needed to meet up with Grandpa Batman because I haven't seen him since last year at Dallas Fan Expo. And of course, I walked over to see Saddle Up to see where he was set up. And I also needed to get, my grounding and my mapping of where the entire place was. So Friday was a pretty chill day. Then I went to get barbecue. You ladies saw this. Then we met afterwards at Jackson's?
Jax. Just Jackson.
Jackson.
Jaxon. Jackson. Yeah. It is Jackson. I think.
Great place. Then of course Friday was nice and chill, thank God. Then Saturday happened, right? So Saturday is for most cons, for anyone, tends to be the most popular day. You get the most celebrities, the most comic artists, the most comic writers, most everyone in the industry. Anyone who cosplays goes Saturday. Saturday is just a day that we all try not to, I don't know, lose our mind because everything slows down. There's 1,000 people there. How was Saturday morning when you guys had to prep? Because now it's Saturday, and this is like I feel where any cosplayer wants to wear like their big cosplay. So how was that Saturday morning?
It was great. Susie and I both, I guess, by nature are early risers. So I think we were both up by like 6:30 in the morning.
I think I set an alarm for like 7:30 just in case we slept in late to give us a couple hours to prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely didn't need that.
We were just awake.
I think I was up at 6.
Wow.
I got back to the room like at 1:30 in the morning. I just woke up at 6 and Batman was on. And I was like, oh, sweet. Let me just sit here for a minute. I'm like, oh, let me go downstairs and get some breakfast. And that was my Saturday morning. And then at the con at 8.
Yeah, we never like ate breakfast. We just had our little like granola bars and snacks and stuff.
We never ate anything except for dinner.
You guys are crazy.
We ate snacks. We had snacks. Like I had something significant for breakfast. It just wasn't like a meal.
It was like a granola bar.
Granola bar and some pretzels.
Some popcorn.
Caffeine.
Yeah, exactly. It kept us going.
As long as something's hitting the system.
Yeah.
I'm not fasting or anything, which is good.
Yeah, definitely.
And in case we didn't say this, we stayed at the connected hotel. So it was really easy to get to the con and then also like go back and forth. I think we went back and forth at least twice on. You had to go back right away on Friday because you forgot something. And then we went back and forth. One of us went back and forth at some point.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Saturday, I like really wanted to meet Jody Benson, and the day before on Friday, I didn't really know how it worked because again, I was new to this. And so I saw some girls in line to meet her, the, original voice of Ariel. And so I was like, okay, how does this work? And they were like, so we were in line for 3 hours earlier, and then she had to go to a panel. So we're back in line now. We got our spots. And I was like, 3 hours? I don't want to waste 3 hours. So our plan on Saturday was to try to get there right when the con opened. And I was just going to get straight in line for Jody Benson. I think maybe I had to wait an hour, which was
we all hung out there.
Not bad. Yeah. And we just hung out in line and it was great. And Jody was amazing and I cried. But yes, that's me with Jody. I made a warrior Ariel kind of cosplay. I wanted to do something that was Ariel, but maybe a kind of an original idea. And this just kind of popped in my head. And I felt like it kind of went with Susie's Wonder Woman. We could both be warriors. Jody Benson was just the sweetest human ever. And just, she, made sure I looked at my pictures, made sure that I liked them. If not, we were going to take more. And I was like, no, it looks great. And she was like, I don't have my camera with me, but I really want to take your picture. So will you tag me in this? I was like, yes, of course. She was like,
oh, that's
no,
awesome.
I really mean it. Please tag me in this. I really want you to tag me in this photo. I want to be able to have it. And I was like, yes, of course. And as we were walking off, again, she was like, so nice to meet you. Don't forget to tag me in your picture. I was like, I won't.
Look at the picture of Ariel in the background and how perfect Candice looks next to the drawing.
It's perfect.
You're such a your smile and your eyes look so much like Ariel, and I think so too. I think everybody really loved that, how much she looked.
I didn't realize how popular Ariel was until we were walking around the floor once, but you also got this picture.
So that was actually, we were waiting in line to get our professional photos that we had, prepaid for with Jody Benson. And yeah, all the Ariels were doing a big photo shoot right before. And I didn't know until all of a sudden I walked up and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get in on this. And so, yeah, I took that selfie as we were waiting in line, but there were so many Ariels. It was crazy.
Look at all the different red colors of hair. So you were struggling with which wig to use for it, and I think you chose a great one. But look at all the different colors.
Yeah, it would have been fine, but thank you. Yeah, I like the one I chose.
Yeah.
You never known there was so many shades of red.
Yeah.
So you see it all in one photo. One of the main things we did on Saturday was, of course, walking the floor. So most cons, especially Fan Expo, they always have the main aisle, and they always have a red rug. They had the same thing at MegaCon, and of course they had one in Dallas. And these two ladies were willing to follow me around, so I could be like, "Hey guys, check out this coffee stand. Hey, this is the guy I'm working for." So I was introducing them to a couple of people that I know, and we ended up on the other side of the main floor. And we're like, "All right, let's go walk back to the cosplay area." We had I think we were trying to guess like how long it would take.
Started a timer, didn't you?
Yeah, I started a timer, and we did really well after we left Adam Michael's booth, the gentleman who's an artist who had all those like splash paintings and sketches on there. And I think there was a couple of pictures there. I think we were only there for like 3 minutes, but once we started walking towards the floor, it was like show stopping, right? And I remember the one point we got to the front of this place. They were selling photos for the celebrity guests, and I just stood there for a minute with like my timer up, but it was so great because everyone was just stopping, taking pictures. Do I have any of those?
We like learned to like, hey, you have to go stand over there so that we're not blocking all this traffic. Like you have to, coordinate.
You were doing a great job on like, hey guys, can we just move this over here because now we're stopping people from walking over. It was so funny. It was so funny. At one point, I was standing like aside this vendor, and this guy just got a picture with you guys, and he like walked up next to me, not knowing I was there. I thought it was a mannequin. So he's like with his phone like in front of me, and he's just like doing whatever, and his buddy's like, "Yo, you all right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He looks up and he goes, "Oh shit, I thought you were a mannequin." Like I was standing here long enough.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But I think it took us about it wasn't that bad. It took about 16 minutes. But it's a Saturday, right? The AC wasn't working.
From one end of the carpet to the other end of the carpet.
Yeah, that's not bad, It's a Saturday. It was high traffic. AC wasn't working, so you didn't want to walk that fast. But we ended up getting back to the cosplay area, and man, you could stand in one area, and that could be the whole con for you.
Yeah,
that's true.
The amount of people that just show up, and then anyone else who cosplays shows up to that one area, and then everyone's just hanging out, and then before you know it, it's like, oh, who's a celeb here? It's like, no, it's a bunch of cosplayers and people who want to take pictures with you guys.
Yeah,
and it's pretty neat. One of the I'm gonna go straight to this picture because it was like Friday. I finally met Gotham Gal cosplay, right? Yeah, and she's I don't know what her height is, but I'm 6'7". She's shorter than I am, and
mini.
We took a really funny picture together, and then I was like, hey, you know what? I should take a picture of me picking you up, and I freaked out because I just said that, saying, okay, there's gonna be some prep time for this, but she like hooked onto my shoulder and just leapt, and I was like, oh, and picked her up, and we took a funny picture. And as we're standing on the floor on Saturday, I was like, hey, Susie, let's do this. And Susie wasn't really sure at first.
Like, I'm big. No, I'm not the mini. I'm not the mini size.
And where did I put this picture?
You're the full Amazon height.
Yeah. So then this picture happened. I'm not struggling at all. You see?
You don't look like you're struggling.
Not at all. And it was pretty funny because Susie was just like, what the hell? And, I made sure I put her down gently because I know what it is to get picked up sometimes and be nervous that someone's going to drop me. I've been picked up before by someone extremely shorter than me, and it freaked me out. But there's one of our highlights and one of the pictures that were posted. It was hysterical. But so one thing about you guys cosplaying, it's when kids jump in, right? And I noticed that a lot on the main floor. And it's extremely adorable. You see their eyes light up and all that. But I wanted to show this picture of Susie, and I wanted you to share the story that came behind this photo because it's freaking cute.
It's so cute. This was literally like, this is the hallway from the hotel to the con. Like, this is the first I think this might have been the first pictures we took. And I like saw
I think you're
her
right. Yeah, I think we were walking
in
down.
her the first picture we took on that day. And like, I saw her in a little golden armor with little wings, like from behind. And I yelled, I was like, hey, Wonder Woman. She turned around and she was excited and I was excited. And so I asked her if we could take a picture. And so I didn't actually take the picture. I didn't have my phone. I wasn't thinking, but her father took the picture. And then I later on I put out a little request on the Dallas Fan Expo Facebook group. And I was like, hey, I missed a bunch of pictures. I'd love to catch up. You know, this is what I was dressed on each day. If you could share them, I just want the memories. And so the dad ended up sending this to me, actually posted it and then sent it via DM. And it was like, this is adorable. This is the cutest picture I've ever seen. And so I went ahead and I just sent it out yesterday, but I sent her some signed pictures, one of the golden armor.
Yeah.
I'm sending a little, like, that's for the kids. Like I will send them free pictures. I would give them free pictures at cons and I send them little free pictures at cons. So she got one of my golden armor edit, like with my wings and everything. So signed it and I wrote a little note on the back and I actually sent her 2 pictures because nobody buys the pictures very much. So like I'll give them away. So I have a whole bunch of prints and I sent that and as well as a couple other kiddos that I found pictures with. So
that's so sweet.
I was so excited because she was a diehard one. Her dad was like, I don't know why she likes the golden one. I'm like, I like the golden one. It's fine.
Well, you got to love it all, right? I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's why part of me, and of course, one of the comments you made on our video, I'm like, I have to do it. I kind of have to cosplay Batman because it's like,
you take your time.
That part of just having that, giving that a kid that much excitement or hope or that belief in something.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the innocence, you can't take that away from them and you just add on to it when you guys do what you do. It's such a beautiful thing. Let me see, when was this one taken? This was really early.
That was pretty early, but definitely when we were walking the con floor.
Yeah, but check out this head that Susie was walking around with.
Yeah.
I was dodging it a couple of times because obviously I'm up there.
Yeah, I tried to take it up, you know, like really tall.
But it was definitely like a showstopper. Everyone who saw it and anyone could find you easily with that head floating around. First off, talk about the head. And how was it like walking around with that thing?
So that head, the story of that head is that I made that like almost 2 years ago, I think. And with that head, I made that head with my old Wonder Woman outfit was the DC fandom winning picture. And I actually, the last time I took pictures with it was in the AT&T Discovery District in Dallas. And that's where the winning picture was. So it's like, it's got its Steppenwolf head has a history with Dallas, great history with Dallas. And now to have him at a con. But yeah, so I like stuck his head on a pike because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman plays a big part in Steppenwolf's non-headless body.
His ending.
So yeah, but I had done all that before it even came out. So yeah, and so I decided to stick his head on a pike. To be, you know,
and everyone loved it. It's
funny, and yeah, I could carry it, and so it was on, you know, I could just rest it on my shoulder, and I ended up with like not a bruise, but like a sore spot, and I tried to switch, and I ended up with a blister on my thumb as well. It's still healing.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, it wasn't super heavy though either. It's heavy enough because it's big, but it's like the pole was like a third of the weight as the head.
Yeah.
All foam and plastic bags and stuffing and that sort of thing. So.
Outside of like walking around the con, of course, and taking pictures with your cosplay, of course, what other things are you guys looking forward to do on Saturday?
Jodie Benson was the one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was huge.
Definitely meeting Jodie Benson, getting her autograph, getting my picture with her,
getting the
and
Funko.
Just and just meeting people. Like, I don't know, that's my favorite thing is just meeting new people. I love that.
Yeah, I had never met Saad before. A lot of the other, like the people that helped out with his booth, I was recognizing, and I followed them, and Gotham Gal, she was sweet, and then some of the other cosplay guests as well. I don't think we went to any panels until I joined one. So
That happened.
That happened, yes, unplanned but fun.
Yeah, it was. Well, that just that goes to show, like, Saad invited you to join, and who's the other gentleman as well that went on there?
Jimmy, JLH. I'm not sure. His name is Jimmy. His first name is Jimmy. I've since joined him, but I haven't known his username for long enough to, like, I haven't recognized it long enough to remember which initials something cosplay.
But something as simple as that, like, that's like the beauty of this community, where it's like, hey, I'm doing this. Can you come join me and let's work on this together? And you guys took this awesome picture with, God knows, it looks like, what, I don't know, 60, 70 people in there.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there was people, outside the picture too. It was the biggest. That was the biggest room full of people as like a panel that I've ever participated in. I've been in just a few panels, but they've all been local here.
Yeah.
Candice was at like my very first one that I tried.
You did so good. You're such a good teacher.
So, but it was time. There was like 12 or 15 people there, and then this was huge. And when we went to Cosplay World, like that one was pretty small too.
Yeah.
I know you stopped in on that. This was really good because it was just, panels are really chill, I think, because you have the chance to just, what do you want to know? Like, just ask us questions. And that's, the whole participation of the audience or just bouncing things off each other is actually super easy. And there's usually not a whole lot of prep other than topic or guided topics.
And this was about foam making or foam armory, or what was it exactly?
Just EVA foam. It was just foam, anything. We talked about the whole gauntlet of anything.
Wait, and for those of us that don't know what the hell that is, what exactly is that foam?
So EVA foam is ethylene vinyl acetate, I think, foam, and then it's like a floor mat, like yoga mats, but like higher density. So like she's got a piece there, and you can cut it in any shape. You glue it in pieces, and you can shape it, and it's
like the better foam to like manipulate or like do things with.
There's different thicknesses, and they are better for different projects. I'm no expert at all. Susie is way better than I am, but I know a little bit, and I learned a little more at this the costume that I just made. So yeah.
It's one of the main building materials for cosplay, between fabric, foam, thermoplastics, Wordblood, if you've heard that word before. Those are probably the main pieces.
And like 3D printed things, maybe. But that's totally different.
How long was this panel?
It was just under an hour. It was like 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Yeah.
It was, if I remember correctly, it was like, what, 4 o'clock or something? What time was this?
Yes, it was at 4 o'clock. So it was like unplanned, and I had planned to change outfits. This was like my first time like doing 2 outfits in a single day at a con, and I was like, I'm going to switch because it's Wonder Woman to Wonder Woman. And
wasn't there like a Justice League meetup or something like that?
I never went to any of those and never got there, so I couldn't get to it, and then I wanted to because I had my big head. And it was just, it never happened. And so I rushed back to change after the panel. But the panel was good. We took some pictures.
Time flies. It's like Saturday was so long, but before you know the day was done, I think 4 o'clock, I was helping out my buddy at Bulletproof Comics, Hank, and he was getting bombarded in his booth. And I'm like, I remember asking you, where are you? And you're like, we're at the panel. And I'm like, damn it. I'm not going to make the panel because I got stuck helping Hank. And then I think after the panel, you did go back at dressed, and boom.
Yeah, it was fast. I like
Linda Carter.
I changed my wig. I didn't change my makeup. I just changed the outfit, changed the wig. It was nice to take off that foam. It was so sweaty. I'm like, it's going to smell so bad in here when we get back. It didn't, though. I don't think it did.
I didn't notice it.
Thank
So like
goodness.
when you sweat with this foam, and here I am, I'm curious. Like it doesn't mess up anything within it at all.
No,
It's
it
like
just gets
does it soak it up, or does it just go through?
like it partially soaks it up, but it also is just like it's like an insulator.
Okay.
So it's like it keeps all the heat in. So like you have to use the right glue so you don't heat the glue up and make it fall apart. But
When I go down this road,
You just have to
I
clean
will
it.
be FaceTiming you.
yeah, you just have to clean it when you're done with it, just like alcohol spray stuff. So it's all good.
So that was like so you did your transformation.
Yeah.
About pretty much like really true, like 2 hours left to the con or something, hour and a half.
No,
Yeah, I didn't expect it to end so early on Saturday. I hadn't looked at like the schedule, and I think it lasted till like 9 on Friday.
Yeah.
And so whenever I realized, did it end at 7 on Saturday?
I think it's 7 or 7:30.
I know, and I know they had like a thing, like they had like a Hayden Christensen like event
was a
thing
mess.
afterwards. So maybe that's why it ended early. But I was just like, man, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, I was hoping to have that extra hour or two, 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah, Friday normally. Well, general admission on Friday was from 4 to 9, so it was only 5 hours.
Yeah.
If you had the VIP, I think you went in at 2 or 3. I want to say 3.
Okay.
But then Saturday was what 10
to 7?
10 to 7, so 9 hours.
Yeah.
But it goes like this, and that's the thing. It's like the time in a con is like a different universe. And like at some points, it's like if you're standing in a line, right? If you're standing in line waiting for someone, time like slows down, and you're like, "Damn it, only 10 minutes passed. What the hell?" But like if you're just walking around, before you know it, you did 1 lap and 2 hours passed. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't even stop or anything. So it's con time is weird, depending on what you're doing.
And all that whole time we're like, we're not hungry. We don't need to eat.
We talked about eating, and we were like, I'm not hungry yet. Me neither. Okay, we'll just wait till we are.
We did decide like probably 3 or 4 o'clock on Saturday to go buy one of those big mugs that you can get.
Refillable ones.
Just go get a drink. Let's just pay the money for this fancy drink to keep.
Just pumping in sugar.
Yes.
We needed a little
helps.
sugar, a little caffeine, and then just then we had that for the rest of the time there. So.
Hold on, sorry guys, but we have a little cameo here. Oh, where did the kitty go?
Oh, we're here. She's still here.
Hi.
Everyone has animals.
Yeah.
Oh, mine go. Oh, mine's actually on his blanket. About time, Alfred. So yeah, Saturday. The timing of the con is weird. Saturday did go fairly quickly. I feel like although there was a lot that happened on Saturday, there wasn't.
Yeah.
Because it went so quickly. Then, a lot of us were happy to get out of the con because the air conditioner wasn't working.
Especially in Artist Alley. I felt so bad for the people over there because it was so
it was that level. It was like that split level, and that was the higher portion of it. And it was like that's
a little musty up there. And to be honest, us nerds, some of us, got the BO going. But welcome to a con. We're carrying a backpack, right? You got a backpack full of stuff, and the AC was on. It was like 98 degrees outside. Nothing made sense.
Yeah.
But Dallas. So Saturday, once we got out, it felt really nice getting out of the con because of the BO, the lack of AC, and the slow walking, and there's so many reasons, especially because it's a Saturday. And by the time we walked out, it was daytime, which is awesome, right? It's like, oh my God, we had the whole evening ahead of us to do stuff.
Yeah.
Took a while for us to figure out where to go, but right across the street from the Omni, there was a pizzeria, another place that had a lot of chicken everything. It seemed like it was really busy at first, but I think we actually it went really quickly. We all got our food, a couple of drinks.
Sat outside.
Good time. Sat outside. Yeah. Here's a nice picture. I don't know if Saad's going to be happy with this one, but he didn't care. Of course, for those of you that followed my story, I'm a little kid, and I circled the 69, obviously, because why not? So here we are, a couple of drinks, just being happy that Saturday was over, and we actually had the opportunity to sit down, hang out, really nice breeze. And me being a person from New York, New Jersey area, I didn't have a problem with that pizza at all. It was really good pizza. I
thought it was good too.
I was surprised.
Good.
By then, also, like, I think Candice and I both had, like, our stomachs were shrunken because we didn't eat very much. So we, like, just split one.
Yeah, you guys split
you guys
one.
all devoured full pizzas.
I think, Sad and I were, like, trading slices and then ate the whole pie. But we somewhat called it an early night for a Saturday. Then Susie and I continue hanging out for a bit.
Yeah.
But it was a great Saturday, and that's what Saturday is supposed to be about. I hate when, like, sometimes some other cons Saturday ends up being over. I think there's a rhyme or reason on why it doesn't end at 9. Because before you know it, it's like 2:00 in the morning, and it's like, whoa, all right, I got to wake up early tomorrow and go back to cons.
That is a good point. We would not have eaten dinner at a normal hour if the con hadn't ended early. So
so it's good that it kicked us out.
Blessing. And I didn't realize how tired I was till we were sitting there eating, having a glass of wine, and I was just like,
the wine
I'm
helped.
just gonna go back up into the room and take my wig off and get all of my costume off. I was ready to be done. So I was glad that we were eating at a place where Susie, and like with friends, and I didn't have to feel bad leaving to go to bed. I didn't want to be like the party pooper. So I was glad that, like, Susie stayed out. I went back and got out of my costume, and it worked out.
Super early though either. It wasn't super. I want to say, like, it was probably getting close to like 10 o'clock by the time you went upstairs. 10:30. Was that like?
It was about like 10 o'clock. So it was kind of late, for us. Like, hey, we gotta wake up early and got a whole day of things to worry about.
Yeah.
But then Sunday happened, right? And I think Sunday's tough because it's like the last day of the con. 2 days just flew, right?
Yeah. And
I think Sunday there was like, all right, what do we have left to get done? And I think we really focused on photo ops. Selfies, photo ops. But let's start with, we did get a friend of yours in there on Sunday.
Yay, April.
Okay.
Yeah. So much fun. I met April Friday for the first time. And April, we'll see you at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yay.
But Sunday was great. We added someone else to our crew. I focused on, I don't know, well, you had a issue with your belt.
Yeah.
You had to get that fixed. And you guys also got more fun juice in your cups. And I think I went straight to the Oscar Nunez line.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Oscar Nunez is, he's Oscar from The Office. And also, a fun fact about Oscar. Oscar grew up in the city that I grew up in, Union City, New Jersey. And we kind of like held up the line a little bit, just chit-chatting about Union City and the things that changed and blah, blah, blah. And he was really nice. We took a picture individually, and he also asked Susie to jump in.
Yeah.
And he's just very kind. I don't know. I was really happy. Like, that made my con. 2020, he was scheduled to be at Dallas, and I had my flights and everything booked to meet him. I was super stoked, and we all know what happened 2020. Dallas Fan Expo was supposed to be the last week of March. Mm-hmm. We all know about Friday the 13th, and 2 weeks later, never came. So here we are 4 years later. I finally met him.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. I think one of the other things that we wanted to do, Susie, was we stood in line for a bit to meet Sean Gunn.
Kraglin from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He did a bunch of other roles too, but that's the one that's most recent, rather.
Here's a great picture of us. Tell us, what were you guys chatting about? Because I stepped away. I'm like, this is her experience. I'm gonna go stand over here.
As always, it's like, what do you talk to when you meet somebody? And I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot, right? Like, even when Candice would probably be like, it happened, same thing for me. I like talked to him, and I was like, oh, I like know somebody that was in a movie with you. Like, drop like Sarah Seattle Beauty's name, and I'm like, but I don't think I ever said what movie. So he was like, okay.
He was like, yeah, whatever.
He was like, okay, cool.
Great. Somebody was in a movie with me. I thought I said, but yeah.
I don't know if you did either. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember.
But it was also, it's like getting to be part of into the dance Sunday. He's been doing this for a couple days, and you feel bad, like he's just like, okay, whatever. Like not anybody's fault that he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about because I was not clear.
Yeah, and he wasn't. It wasn't that he was not friendly. He was just like, oh, cool. Kind of like, that's it.
That's great. I'm so glad. That's great. So yeah, I didn't. And then he like asked if I wanted to personalize my photo, and I'm like, oh no, that's okay. And then I'm like, why didn't I not have him put my name on it? Like it was just me writing my name to Susie instead. Okay.
I did the same thing with Jodie Benson when she was signing my little Funko Pop. She was like, do you want to personalize? I was like, no, that's okay. So she just like signs her name. And then afterwards I was like, I should have said yes. Why didn't I say yes? I don't know.
So
it's weird because like, if you're conscious of what, everyone behind you, it's like you kind of like want to have your experience, but you also like don't want to hold everyone else's experience up, because when lines get cut and people have to come back later on because of your own experiences, you guys are empathetic of that, and you're trying to get as much done as soon as possible, and it's like, oh crap, I forgot this, I didn't mention that. And that happened to me so many times.
I'm already like going over like, what do I say next time I go? Like, what is it?
Oh yeah,
next person I get to meet is Brie Larson.
Ooh.
Get that cue card. You gotta have a little flashcard with you, and like
2 weeks. Yes, I'm definitely gonna do that. I should write it down.
And even like practice it over and over, because I knew, like, I'm a huge Jodie Benson fan. I read her book recently. I listened to the audiobook because she read it herself, and so I like had these things that I wanted to like mention, and instead I just said, I read your book, you're so nice, and that was like all I could think to say, and I started crying. So yes, plan it out, because that would be nice. I feel like practice.
That's so funny. I think
it's crazy too. In the same way, like we're out there like meeting celebrities, but then this like imposter syndrome of like people that come up to me and they're like, "Are you Susie Creates? Are you Susie?" And I'm like, "Yes." What? What? They're like, "I've been following you. I love your work." I'm like, "Oh my god, what? I'm not a celebrity." but I guess those people like really knew me and were excited to meet me. So
the magic of social media.
Like, you gotta put yourself in their shoes. Like I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. So maybe that's the way celebrities are like too.
Yeah, it's
I thought it was really sweet every time someone would come up to you. Because that happened to you a lot. You have a lot of followers, and I just thought, that's so sweet. I love it.
Yeah, it is pretty dope when I see it happening, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, go Susie.
Yeah. It's a different thing that I haven't experienced yet until really this one. So
wait till San Diego.
I know. I don't know. That might be crazy, but
San Diego's what, 3 weeks? Oh, well, I fly out 3 weeks. It's in 4 weeks. It's 3.5. Whatever the math is. I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to figure out like who am I going to try to meet and like have that issue with. I think that happened to me with a lot of comic artists when I first started getting books signed.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh my God, I love your work. I'm like your biggest fan. And I'm like, how many times have you heard that nonsense?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, that sounds stupid. And then it's like, I should have said this. I should have said that.
You just got to be a normal person with them.
Yeah. Now that I got a couple of cons under my belt.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want some coffee or what? Yeah, I'll take a coffee. You're going? Yeah. How much are you? Shut up. I'll be back. And now it's like a little different. But I think, oh man, I wish Zachary was there. I was going to meet. That's one person I was wanted to meet. Hopefully, I'll catch him sometime this year, because all I hear is great things, and I hate how people look at him because of the numbers of Shazam, which is stupid. Because he's a great guy, and I think Shazam is great because I'm a kid at heart, and I look at movies like I'm an 8-year-old.
And he did like that role. I feel like was like made for him. Yeah. I mean, he is perfect as Shazam.
Yeah.
Very charismatic. Like has the look. Yeah.
And his like one season that he was in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Have you seen that too?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, I loved him in that one too.
Yeah. Oh, and
With Chuck?
I was a huge Chuck fan. Like my husband got me into it like the second to last season. We watched all of them leading up to like whatever season that was. And then we watched the last of them together. And then we probably watched the whole show like 3 times. I love it so much. It's so good.
So sad not to have him there.
So I think what else happened Sunday? I think after photo ops, I think there was a lot of walking around and trying to get like last minute things. You ladies picked up a few prints from Saturday and Sunday.
Yes. Yeah. And I went to Jody again, huge Jody Benson fan. I went to her panel when Susie noticed like she needed to get her little belt thing fixed. I got a notification on my watch, which I hadn't worn my watch all weekend long, and I was wearing it that day, and it was like, bing, Jody Benson's panel starts in 10 minutes. And I was like, I have to go. Good luck with your belt. I'll see you in an hour. You know? And I went. I just love her. She's the sweetest person. She ended it by singing Part of Your World. I cried. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, this was going to come out after the one I did 2 days ago. We were talking about, they were at that panel too. And I remember Kelly was telling me, he's like, I don't know how it is for Taylor Swift fans, but this was like a micro dose of Taylor Swift fans the moment she started singing. And he was like, everyone was like losing their mind and crying. And everyone had their phones out. It's just like,
yeah, that's so true.
I can only imagine. I need to go to more panels. I don't really go to much panels. I think last year I hit 1 panel, and it was, I forgot the panel I went to. 2 panels.
I always want to go. Like I even had several marked. Yeah. And we didn't ever have our phones on us. I didn't have my watch on me. Like I even had it set up to remind me, but it kept reminding me for things like I didn't care about. So I would just kind of start ignoring the reminders. But yeah, they're so great. I love them, but there's not enough hours in the day, you know?
There we go. I went to a Frank Miller panel at Boston Fan Expo, but it was after the con.
Oh.
So it was perfect. It was a Saturday, and it started at 7 when the con was over. And we were there till about like, I don't know, maybe 9:30.
Wow.
And because he did a signing after that. And it was actually a viewing of his documentary, American Genius. And so you watch his documentary. We're the first ones to ever watch it. It's supposed to hit the movie theaters or, small theaters sometime soon. And I remember like some parts I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he went through that. He's really telling his life story. It's hitting certain parts of my soul. And then he did a signing after that. And they were giving out shirts and all this stuff. And then my buddy Steve and Chris and we just stuck around and started talking to Dan DiDio, who used to be like a producer over at DC, and what's her name? Selene, who is Frank Miller's CEO. And before you know it, it's 10 o'clock. And it's guys, we need to get the hell out of here. My feet hurt. I still smell like 6 o'clock this morning. Those days get so long. But I need to try to get in more panels. There's so many good experiences when you go to panels, especially when it's someone that you really look up to. So pretty much Sunday after your panel, I think you guys walked the floor again, and then you were trying to get photographer pics, and you just came across like this one gentleman last minute.
We were trying. I think I contacted like 3 or 4 photographers before I came, and I was just like, "Hey, just if you're there, if you see us, if we can connect, if you're going to be somewhere." And like some of them we were messaging back and forth. And then, very last minute, one of the other photographers, the first photographer we shot with, that we just had a little mini, like a dozen pictures kind of thing off in the corner. He's like, hey, this other guy you were looking for, he's really great. He's literally out that door. Catch him on your way out. Like you have to go now.
Before we ever went, a local Oklahoma City photographer that we've both worked with reached, when he knew that we were both going, he was like, hey, if you guys see this person, or this person, like photographers, like you need to have them take your picture. But like this one specifically is really awesome. And we were like, okay, cool. So we took photos with one of the ones that he suggested on Friday, again, who was great and awesome. And he was like, okay, but if you see so-and-so, I don't know if we can like mention people's names or whatever, but you have to get your picture with him. He was like, I am an amateur compared to him. And I mean, the person on Friday was great, But yeah, he randomly saw us at the end of like the very, very end of the day on Sunday. He saw us like in the convention hall and he was like, oh my gosh, yes, I found you guys. You know, the one that I was telling you to get your picture with, he set up right outside. You have to get your picture with him before you go. He's one of the best. And we were like, oh my gosh, okay, well, we'll do that. You know, but like, I thought it was really sweet that he was excited that he was getting us the chance to take a picture with another photographer. It was just
That's awesome.
So sweet. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
Again, the community helping each other out.
Yeah.
Here's one of the pictures you sent me.
Oh yeah, so that was like a behind the scenes sort of. He had like his lights set up and stuff, and I didn't know what to expect. And I was shocked. I guess because I haven't really seen. I don't know a lot about what photography can do. So the fact that you can go from like that to a photo, yes, that looks like you have like a black background, a studio photo. Like I don't understand. Like my mind is blown. I don't know how you can go from that to that. I mean, again, I'm kind of a noob at this stuff. I don't know how it works, but I'm just like, whoa, I didn't expect that whenever he posted his pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you can see who it is right there, but
it's insane to like look at the difference. Like, all right, we're here, and then it's like, all right, then you get this, and it's like, whoa.
Yes. So I mean, I was just blown away. So I'm glad that we had the opportunity to take some shots with him, even though I took like maybe 2 or 3 shots. I was just like,
yeah, same here. It was just like a half dozen for me, 6 or 7 that we kept. Like we probably took a dozen, maybe max.
Yeah. So all in all, like Dallas was a great experience. Susie, was it your first time going to Dallas?
This is like my second big con, I think. That's not in Oklahoma. I went to Hallback, and then I went to Dallas. I think that's it. I don't think I went.
And Candice, so your overall experience for a first big con?
Oh, I loved it so much.
But you had, I think Jody like did it all. Like y'all just needed to meet her, and that's
she put it over the top. But I would have had a blast regardless, just because it was, I don't know, it was just so much fun. And so Susie and I both have been to in Tulsa, like Wizard World used to come to Tulsa, so we had been to that. So that was like a larger, not as big as this one. But it was larger than like our more like local cons. But again, I'd never really traveled and stayed the night. That was just like drive there and back. I only went on Saturday. So this was just like a whole new experience. But yes, I loved it so much. I'm so glad we went. I just keep wanting to say thank you to Susie. Like, thank you for going with me. I'm so glad we did this. Because I wanted to go last year too, but I didn't have anyone to go with and I didn't plan ahead. And so yeah, I'm so glad we went. I loved it so much.
We planned that like at the beginning of the year. We're like, okay, let's do this together. It'll be our weekend.
Yes.
And Candice was the best travel buddy. Like when you haven't traveled with somebody, and like I swear this is weird. And this is the part I love the most is we like on our travel on the way there and on the way back, we didn't even turn on the radio because we were just chatting and enjoying the time and figuring out where we were going. And then when we were in even in the hotel room, there was like, when we were hanging out together, we didn't turn the TV on. We didn't even play music when we were doing radio. I'm like, why did we play? We're just doing our thing and enjoying each other. And I couldn't have asked for better, like more good times than.
I agree. It was so great. I loved traveling with you too. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So overall, Dallas was flipping great.
Yes.
Would you guys do Dallas again, or would you want to choose a different con next year?
I think being close, it's very nice and convenient for a big con. That would probably be regionally the best of the local ones.
I agree. I would totally go again for sure, without a doubt. If I had a great travel buddy, someone to go with me, then yes, I totally would.
Well, just in case you don't know, it's June 7th to the 9th, 2004.
Okay. Put it in my calendar today.
Yeah.
I put it on my calendar 2 days ago. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going back again.
That's the part, like, I probably won't do it next year then, because this year it was just a couple days off from my kid's birthday's on the 7th.
Oh,
so
I can understand that.
Like, I didn't miss their birthday, but we didn't really do anything for them. So it's like, I'm not going to be able to do that. And I think that doesn't mean that the following year I won't do it.
Of course.
It's the regionally good big one. But I also want to go to like EveryCon. I just feel like that's going to end up being me just going to EveryCon one time. So,
well, and we've talked about that because it's harder for you. You have a family. I have a husband, but that's it. So it's easy for me to and my jobs I have a couple of jobs, and it's easy for me to like get off and do what I want pretty much. So yeah, it's different when you have a family and kids and that sort of thing. But if you pick a different large convention that you want to go to next year instead, and you need a travel buddy, I would be willing to go to that one too. I'm sure.
I don't know. There
We
was
could go to Chicago or something like that.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
or MegaCon.
Florida, yeah, it's a bit of a Chicago. It's far, but we could possibly drive it.
Okay.
Prepared enough. I think it's like 6 to 8 hours.
C2E2 or Chicago Fan Expo?
Yeah, C2E2. It's probably the
I
big
think
deal.
it's like 11 hours. I know I have a friend who used to live there, and I think she said it would be like 11 hours, which is that's still doable in a day, I think. I mean, I'm
with 2 people, and yeah.
Listen, if you're game, I guess I'm going to Chicago.
I don't know yet. Like, wait till like December for me to.
Yeah, we still got the rest of the year to focus on and see what else is going to happen.
Yeah.
Any advice for anyone that is willing to go to a con, like 2-3 hours, or the cosplays? Any advice for them? What do you guys got? Besides everything we spoke about, I guess.
The Connected Hotel was a very pleasant, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally worth it. And it wasn't, it was expensive, but it wasn't outrageous. And especially if you're splitting it with someone, if you're not renting it by yourself, if you're splitting it with a friend, it's worth spending, the extra money just to be right there where you can go back and forth to your room. Don't have to worry about parking, leaving stuff in the car. I don't know. Yes, I agree completely.
The convenience is worth it.
Yeah. And my advice is just do it. Just make the plans, do it. You'll love it. You'll be glad you did. That's my advice. And stay on site if you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The Connected Hotel is such a key part to anyone. I think, whether you're just not just cosplay, if you're there for anything in general, you want to have the Connected Hotel, because then you don't have to go outside. And most of these cons, a lot of them happen where there's different weather, I guess, right? Like I was in a MegaCon, they have a connecting one, but I wasn't there. I had to walk outside. It was 98 degrees. It sucked. Same thing with Chicago. There's a connecting one at C2E2. Really nice. I stayed 3 miles away once. And then the second time I stayed at the connecting. Whoa, game changer. And it helps when you have people to split the room with, because then it's, it seems like a lot at first, and most of the time ends up being somewhere between like $200 to $300. When you split that, it's not that bad, and it's worth to have the company and the financial ease of splitting that with someone else. Mm-hmm. But ladies, thank you for hanging out at Dallas. It was fun. Candice, it was great meeting you. You're so sweet.
Great meeting you.
Susie, again, you're amazing. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Looking forward to our next con.
Yeah.
4 weeks. I'm like nervous about it, but it's just the excitement. So I'm trying not to have expectations. Yeah. So I could all right, let me just soak everything in. It's the first time I've been in San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But looking forward to meeting up over there. That being said, anyone watching, listening, listen to the advice. You want to go to a con, just go. At the end of the day, there's so much, you don't want to live with regrets, right? You hear stories of people getting older. I wish I would have done this. I wish I could have done that. If this, if that, if I would have known. Screw it. Figure it out. Get your ass to a con, find some buddies to split stuff with, find people to hang out with. It's a fun time. I'm addicted. I got 4 this year. I got 5 more than I'm going to, apparently, according to my wall. Damn it, wall. But
that's awesome.
Ladies, thanks again. Those of you listening, comment, subscribe. Please follow these two. DM me if you are looking to have anyone else on here. Let me know if you want to be on here. I don't care. Yeah. I'll take anyone in the community. Thanks again for listening. Ladies, have a great night. Anyone driving, listening to this, Nando, I know you're driving to work listening to this. Drive safely, my friend. It's all love. Everyone, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.